Hello, and welcome to episode 5 on our lecture series on the Reformation. Today, we're going to be talking about the Counter Reformation, also known as the Catholic Reformation, here on Learning the Social Sciences. So the Catholic Reformation is a mid-16th century push to reform the Catholic Church. We are going to have different individuals coming in that are going to bring in reform and are going to revive the papacy and the Catholic Church in numerous areas around Europe. And so we're going to be focusing today on the Jesuits, on the creation of a reformed papacy, and the Council of Trent. So as more and more people began to follow the new Christian teachings of people like Martin Luther and John Calvin, the Catholic Church needed to respond. Pope Paul III sought to make changes to bring followers back and to stop others from leaving. And so he called various church officials to come to the Council of Trent in 1545 and to review the teachings, doctrines, and practices of the church. Now, the council concluded years later that people could achieve salvation through faith and good works. So Martin Luther had talked about just through faith, kind of saved through grace, not through works. However, the Catholic Church did reaffirm the tradition and the teachings that good works were a part of the deal. Now, they also continue to say that the Bible is the one source, but the traditions of the church were also important. So yes, the Bible is the sacred text, but the tradition of the church and items like canon law still need to kind of be followed. So, we have that. So for them, the Bible is the one source, but not the only source for religious teachings and doctrines, and that there would be penalties if clergy were acting too worldly. In terms of clerical celibacy, the Catholic Church actually at the Council of Trent really debated that one for a while, but they did conclude that clergy still should remain celibate. So nuns you can't marry, monks you can't marry, and a priest you can't marry either. And this is something that's still in our world today is, a hot topic item about this decision that Catholic priests cannot marry. Now, Pope Paul also used the Inquisition to counter the Protestant movement. So he does go and have this Council of Trent, but he is also using trials to try to stop the movement. For example, if one possessed books that were deemed as heretical, or countered the teachings of the Catholic Church, then one could be put on trial and face torture or possible execution. So Calvin and Luther's books, of course, are going to be on the banned book list. You can throw Zwingli in there, and then some of those early reformers, Wycliffe, Jan Hus, others. You do not want to read their texts. Now, the Catholic Church also had a new sect develop that is going to help to counter the Reformation. Ignatius of Loyola was a Spanish knight who sought to form a group that would be disciplined and would train like knights to learn the Bible and defend Christianity. Except for picking up a physical sword and fighting, no, this is going to be the Bible. We are going to fight kind of an intellectual battle. So education was the key to the Jesuits, which is why we have Jesuit schools set up around the world. So they set up, of course, schools. They set up missionaries to go around the world by giving them finances to be able to do that. They even sent missionaries into Protestant lands to try to get people to convert back to the Catholic Church. And of course, they're going to be sending missionaries to the Americas and to any places where the Spanish Portuguese are going to be operating. So they're even going to be in Japan for the short period of time that Europeans were in Japan before they closed their door and became isolationists. With the Jesuits, they adhered to kind of the strict discipline and following of a strict Christian life while being educated so that they could just know the Bible, know the Catholic teachings, and be able to then spread the Catholic faith to new parts of the world. Basically, just equipping them with the knowledge so that they understand their religion, so they're not going to convert away from it, but they can also spread it to other people. In terms of another individual, Teresa of Avila was a Spanish nun who was not satisfied with the convent that she was a part of. Instead of remaining and following along, she actually formed a brand new convent where the nuns lived a life of isolation and dedicated themselves to prayer and meditation. Officials in Spain and in Rome were highly impressed with her convent and asked her to then reorganize the entire system within Spain, which she went and did. She also wrote texts to help with the reorganization that are still highly regarded to this day. Now, even though the Reformation caused significant changes in areas like Germany and in England, most of Europe that was Catholic before 1517 remained Catholic in the 1600s. France, although has a growing Calvinist population, in terms of the monarchy, although for a little bit they were Protestant, remains Catholic, and they continue to push Catholicism in their country. Austria, part of the Holy Roman Empire, remains Catholic. Of course, Italy, numerous areas remain Catholic. However, Lutheranism is going to be spreading up into the Scandinavian countries, and the Netherlands is also going to be going towards Protestantism. So, there are going to be some changes. And now Europe is going to be entering this kind of new age of trying to figure itself out after all of these changes. And what is it going to be doing? And what kind of influence and role should religion have within the government, within governmental decisions and items like that. And that is why we are going to be now entering into an era known as the Wars of Religion, our next unit. So this has been our 5th lecture and final lecture in our series on the Reformation. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thank you very much for listening. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.